There.
Oh, no.
Ta-da.
Yay.
All right. Start the spooky music. And start the spooky music. There it is. That's a little too loud. Little too loud. Let's turn that down a bunch. Okay. Would anyone like to give a recap of last week's activity? Free bonus experience point.
We fought stuff in tunnels.
That's not really complete enough.
I know.
I like a little more detail.
That's about all I prepared today.
They were rocky tunnels.
We moved on from the encounter with the ghostly Indian people, walked around the tunnel some more, discovered a Sculpted Shadows wall, found some mind-controlled students, pushed them through a portal to Paradigm Solutions, and then the Merovingian bravely explored the dark and got shot at, and that started an encounter with the guy who didn't die, which might be Applewhite. Okay.
Applewhite.
And we are currently in the middle of that encounter.
Yeah, I mean, close enough. So take your bonus experience point.
Yes.
Yeah. So the students were all digging with various improvised implements. Some not so improvised. Some perfectly suitable for digging. And Stu the Spirit reported that some of them were muttering about digging something up. But yep, you pretty much covered it, I guess. So we dropped out right in the middle of an encounter. So let me...
Oh my gosh.
I know.
It's still very robot-y.
You're having some internet trouble. Norlin, how's your internet?
I can hear you guys fine.
Is it all of Minnesota or just Ruby?
I thought maybe it was all of Minnesota when Ruby was late and then my internet broke, but it's fine.
All right.
One time back in the day, a friend of mine actually took down all of the Sprint network in Wisconsin.
Wow.
Hey, that is a major accomplishment.
Yep. He uploaded software that was corrupt and it took down the entire thing. His boss got fired for it.
Wow.
You didn't update your blog thing with the last XP stuff.
No, I didn't. I'll have to. You'll have to dig up the forum post for now if you want to
I know.
update
I'm
your
doing
character
that.
sheet.
I was
So-
going to describe my my Nimbus,
Oh,
if you would
Well,
like me to.
this is the time for that. Please do.
Okay, so my Nimbus basically resembles bees, gray and yellow bees.
Gray and yellow bees. I like it. Gray and yellow bees.
Gray and bronze, gray and yellowy bronze bees.
Gray and bronze. Is it a mix of gray bees and bronze bees, or are all the bees gray
I mean,
and bronze?
The bees, as rather than being like black and white bees, they are silver and
I mean,
bronze.
we're really switching the colors up a lot here. Okay, silver and bronze bees.
I'm so confused.
gray, silver, whatever.
Are they shiny or are they matte?
Yes, they shimmer.
They have a specular highlight. Okay.
Yes.
So
I have one too.
One sec. I want to remember what Timmy's was.
I know.
Timmy was a shimmering green sort of thingamabob.
Yep.
And then Yoder. Okay, what's Yoder's Nimbus?
Mine is old dead leaves blowing through the wind, and there's a smell of moss, and there's the sound of wind blowing through the trees.
Oh, and the smell of moss.
Overachieving ass.
He included smells. I don't know. You guys have all been left in the dust. Okay. Well then, Sammy and
winter
Dewey.
green.
My shit don't stink.
Sammy and Dewey each get a bonus experience point for describing their nimbi.
Huzzah.
And Timmy and Albacore, there's still an offer on the table for 2 experience points for doing a character portrait.
Yep. Totally gonna do that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that as soon as I build a new computer that can actually run Eve. That'd be cool.
Aluminum and wood bees? Sure. All right.
Kind of bees.
One other thing to address, I guess, before we get started here is, yes, Norland's Timmy's portal. Portals have a transitory duration unless you imbue them with a little more effort in the casting, which means that this probably has disappeared.
Did his arm get cut off? This is important.
No, I'm way over here.
Yeah, no. We'll say he gave it a little extra oomph so you guys could shovel those people through it. But yeah, we'll just have to bear that in mind next time you cast a portal.
Yep.
I mean, it worked. So you can see the portal right here, but it shouldn't have lasted as long as it did.
Yeah.
So my recollection of everything that was happening in the encounter. Let's see. First of all, Applewhite shouted some angry things at you about your murder of his friend Ron.
Did they mention during the recap about him grabbing my deal and making it rusty?
No, there wasn't a ton of detail in the recap, so we'll get to that.
Okay.
Okay. Albacore set his flashlight down as sort of a distraction and then snuck around the right side of that pillar there. And then Honey Badger snuck way farther along around the other pillar with his nifty stealth rolls and came up behind Applewhite. Applewhite shouted at or commanded the students in the cavern here to group up, and they seemed drawn by the light, so they are grouping up in the light. Meanwhile, Honey Badger stuck his glaive in Applewhite's side and said something pithy.
Yep.
And then Applewhite reached over and grabbed the blade of the glaive and muttered a spell, and it began to decay in his grasp. But it's made of titanium, so it shouldn't really rust like it just did. Okay, so that's actually right where we left off. Applewhite and the students just finished their turn, and it is now Ender's turn.
Oh, good. Let's see. I don't
Kick
think
us
I
off
had
with
a
something
plan
amazing.
last
You've had a
so-
whole week to think about what you want to do with this turn. It better be really good.
Awesome.
Okay. I want to pull my spider box out of my
Yes.
bag
Okay.
and coax.
Make a giant portal under all the people.
Of spiders.
A portal of spiders. Yeah. I don't think I can make a portal bigger. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think a portal is pretty much person-sized, more or less, but I'm sure you can modify that if you've got enough space magic at your
Which
disposal.
I do not. Okay, so I'm gonna open my spider box and coax about 5 of the poisonous guys out, and get them to move on toward where Applewhite is.
Are you going to fling them that direction or let them ambulate at spider speed?
I'm just gonna put them down and let them go at spider speed.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. So we've got 5
Sure.
poisonous spider boys traversing the floor of the cavern.
Should I make a roll? Or,
Yes, you should make a greater beast control roll,
okay.
and we'll see.
What did Applewhite yell at all the people to do? Just get in front of them?
Assemble.
Assemble.
Yeah, group up.
Group up, I think he said.
Oh.
Are the words he said.
So they're not Avengers. Good to know.
Well, they haven't. He didn't say attack. He just.
Well,
said
right.
group
You just
up,
yeah.
so-
No, that's right. I just wanted
Ooh.
to clarify.
1 success. With greater beast control, 1 success is enough to control 5
Okay.
small creatures like this. But I mean, obviously, 0 successes I would have been hard pressed to let you do any of that shit. So I'm glad we made you roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 5 spider boys trundling along at spider speed, which is not terrific. Let's see here. I will draw something for the spiders. What color should the spiders be? Well, you can look it up in the book.
Make
Speed
them
of
like
various.
green X's or something.
Oh,
Because they're his, right?
I'll make them a red box for now because
Google
that
says
will work.
1.73 feet per second.
Google doesn't matter. We're gonna look at the let's see here. Speed is probably right here somewhere. Maybe no. Okay, where's speed? Nope, it's not in there. All right, speed. LMNOP speed. Species factor. Speed. Let's look at page 95 of the World of Darkness book. So, a turtle has a speed factor of 1. A human toddler has a speed factor of 3. A human adult has a speed factor of 5. And your speed is the number of yards you can travel in a single turn. It's a combination of your strength, dexterity, and said species factor.
I can cast acceleration on it.
The species factor reflects age, physical configuration, size, and other configurations. So spiders are very small. So I'm thinking they have a very small species factor. Like, are they as fast as a toddler? We'll say they have a speed factor of 2. Which means they have a speed of probably like 6 or 7, maybe? If we're being extremely generous.
I wouldn't think their strength would be all that high either.
No, you wouldn't think their strength or their dexterity. Well, I mean, their dexterity is extremely high. You know, spiders are very dexterous, but their strength, not very high. Anyway, we'll say I'm sure it's in the book somewhere. I bet I could look up various animals, and spiders would be on the list, and we could see their speed. Let me just... What the hell? Let me just look it up. Ghosts? Nope, they're not ghosts. You know what? This is probably the wrong book to look at. They're not ghost spiders. Yet. Come on, tell me about animals. All right, who cares? We'll say they've got a speed of 6.
All right.
So you've unleashed spiders on the world. Would you like to move with the rest of your turn or say anything?
Let's see. No, I think I like where I am.
Okay. You don't want to like
I don't
move
wanna-
behind
I
the
don't wanna give it
wall
away,
or
but-
anything?
Yeah, maybe. Okay, I thought those chunks of rock there were a little higher. Yeah, peek around the wall there.
Okay, we'll stick you around the wall so you're peeking
Yeah.
around. Okay. What were you gonna say?
I don't want to say like what. Here comes some spiders. So I'll just.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Everyone, look out for the spiders. That might work really well, actually. You don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Yoder.
All right, I am going to cast Human Minion on Applewhite.
Oh my. Human minion on Applewhite. Is this life 5?
That escalated
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Well, I'm just going to make him sit down and shut up. I'm not going to like. Damn it,
Well,
I
that's
can't
what you
make him
say
hurt.
now. But
Well,
later
right,
on,
in
when
theory.
you've got full control of him and he's sucking
I
your
can't
dick,
make him.
we're all going to be
like,
like...
well, who says he's going to be sucking mine?
Yeah, correct. Well, later
I'm
on, when
probably
he's
going to put
sucking
up a mild
dick.
fight.
No,
Let's see.
stop. Hey.
Okay, so it's instant and contested. The target rolls Resolve plus Gnosis reflexively. This is vulgar and it costs 1 mana.
Yep. But I have my life. I have my tattoo, which is my life tool.
Mm-hmm. You're going to use that,
So
so
that'll help.
that won't give you a paradox roll this turn.
Right.
But we will add you to the list of people who have cast vulgar spells, so that I can keep track of future paradox. All right, so I won't make a paradox roll for you, but let me roll Gnosis plus Resolve, and then I presume you need to exceed my successes. Oh. No. Shit. I know we wrote this down somewhere. How contested roles work. Let me try and find that. I feel like a bad GM. No.
Don't feel like that.
No. Like sometimes it's you need to exceed my successes, and sometimes it's my successes are subtracted from your dice pool. I presume in this case you're going to need to exceed my successes. So let's find out what the number is. 1. You're going to need to exceed 1.
Here's hoping. Hey! I did.
2. Okay, so let me quickly breeze over that spell again. Gross bodily control over human beings. The affected creature is going to be controlled like a marionette.
Mm-hmm. So how
If he's made to do something that's radically against his beliefs, a fresh, contested, and reflexive.
Well, I know. All I want to do is have
roll.
drop his gun, sit down, and stop talking.
Okay.
I'm just going to make him sit there and not do anything.
All right. So first of all, you assume
Why wouldn't
control.
you make him tell all these people to just go home and forget why you're here?
Because he doesn't have the streetwise like you do.
He's not streetwise. Yeah.
Okay, I heard half of that because it cut out. That's fine. There's a reason not to. That's what I gathered.
Because he didn't tell him to do anything to us. He just said...
So? Telling him to go the hell home is even better for us.
Yeah, but, one step at a time. I just want him to stop, doing things that are going to make it worse.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, you assume control of this guy, and this is the first time you've ever done this, so you're not sure what it's supposed to feel like. But what it does feel like is sliding your hand into a glove made of rotten meat. It feels slimy and you feel like you're going to be ill from the sensation of taking over this body.
Okay.
But you want him to drop his weapon and sit on the ground.
Yes, and not say anything, and just make it so he can't talk.
Well, and abruptly he does drop his weapon and sit on the ground.
All right.
Let me see here. Is this... You're going to need to concentrate to maintain this.
Right.
So for as long as you continue to maintain this spell, he will be under your thrall.
Okay.
Okay, then that brings us back around to Honey Badger. Honey Badger, your target has abruptly dropped his weapon and sat down, completely heedless of the glaive in his hand.
Okay. Shit.
For all you know, he's doing like a jujitsu martial arts move, and he's about to flip you over his head with his hold on your glaive.
Feel free to do what you want. I'm not saying whatever. If you want to take advantage, I'm not going to care.
Well, this guy did shoot at one of us, and he tried to do some funky shit to ruin my awesome weapon. So I'm going to do the only rational thing and cut his hands off.
Well, he does still have a hold of your weapon, so you're going to need to yank it back, first of all.
I'm going to yank it back,
And then one swift
hopefully
move.
severing the fingers of that hand.
Okay.
So what do I got to roll for chopping off a man's hands?
Well, let's start with...
Is this a dual move like a drawback and then a swing like an axe?
Well, it's as if he has you grappled because he's holding your glaive with his hand. So
Okay.
you need to first break his grapple by rolling strength plus brawl minus his strength. So subtract 3.
Strength plus brawl. 4. Shit. Okay. So we're not going to do that. So let's see. What else?
This isn't exactly fair because it's easier to hold on to a human than it is to hold on to a glaive. So
Yeah, he's holding onto the sharp end of a glaive with his fist. He's got to be like cutting his fingers off himself.
You should be able to yank it out away from him. So why don't you just roll strength plus brawl minus nothing, and we'll see what happens.
So if I rolled shifting sands and went back a turn, and instead of just putting my glaive up against his side, I drove it into his side, how bad would that fuck things up for everything else that's happened?
Well, let's see. Time magic. Shifting sands.
Probably just enough to be super interesting.
Shifting sands. Rewind time. Grab hold of the threads of time. Pull yourself back one turn. Choose a different approach to the situation. Cost of mana is vulgar. Can be cast any time in the initiative roster. Can be cast any time in the initiative roster from when the caster performed his action until the place in the roster in the next turn.
Okay, so I missed my chance.
If the casting, I'm trying to figure out the spell cannot undo any effects. No, we already went through that once upon a time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get stabbed a bunch.
And you'll still be stabbed.
Stay stabbed. Let me tell you this: if somebody did something that's a mortal blow, I'm going back in turn, murdering that fucker, and then dying.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around. This spell can be cast any time in the initiative order from when the caster performed his action until his place in the roster in the next turn.
Yeah, so that's why I don't think I can do it.
Yeah,
it's
then it explicitly says if the player does not declare this casting before then, the previous turn cannot be replayed.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are on a fresh new turn.
Okay. Well then. He's still got it. The guy sat down. Who else has a weapon that's in range that I might know is close and could do something?
Nobody.
I don't know if anyone else. Yeah.
I have a nice sword, but I am.
I have one, but I'm too far away, and I'm concentrating on making sure the guy just sits there.
Okay.
Yeah, you're the only one close.
God damn it.
I mean, I feel like you can disarm him.
Well, I was trying to disarm him, but it turned out I was going to have to brawl. Ha! Disarm. Cut off his hands, remember? I don't have any brawl. That's the problem. So, I mean, my strength is 4.
Are you smacking your keyboard for some reason while you're talking?
Sorry. No, I'm doing something else.
Okay.
So I only have 4 strength, and I have no brawl. So I lose a point, and then I lose 3 for brawling, so I have 0. So I could willpower for 3.
Chance die.
Actually, if you're down to 0, that means it's a chance die.
All right, I'm gonna chance die to hopefully cut his fingers off while drawing back my glaive.
How can you? Hang on. Let's rethink this. I've already stepped back from. Oh, this is clearly a grappling situation. I mean, for him it is. He's grappling your glaive. For you, you're just manipulating your glaive as you would in combat. So I don't know.
I want to basically just draw it back out of it. If he's holding the blade, and I can just pull it back, and that shouldn't be a grapple.
So the issue here is you are unskilled in brawl, and it's only -1 for unskilled in brawl. Drew,
what?
You see what under the skills there?
3 out of 4 words.
Okay, well, do you see
I
under
have
the
nothing in brawl?
So it's -1, not -3.
I understand that, but you said strength plus brawl, so I have 4, -1 for brawl, and then you gave me a -3 since I'm grappled.
Right,
So
but
that's
then I said just do it without any minuses because it's not quite like a grappling situation.
Because I'm again hearing only every 3rd word.
All right, so just roll strength plus brawl.
And you fell.
I should
All right.
have chance died. So he's still got hold of this thing, even though he's
still got a hold of the end of the glaive. Yes, you weren't able to yank it back, but you could just thrust it into him if you want to. I'm not going to make that be your action for the turn because it was completely impotent and boring. So you failed to regain complete control of the glaive with the first part of your turn here, but now you have to decide what you want to do with your legit action.
I want to punch him in the face with my arm.
With your free hand.
Yep.
Okay. Then strength plus...
He just sat down, didn't he?
Yes.
I'm going to kick him. I'm going to kick him in the face.
Oh. You're calling your target, too. All right. That's going to be... Well, it's a minus. So...
if I say I want to crane kick him in the face, is that athletics instead of brawl?
we'll make it athletics since it is a kick instead of a boxing move or something. So strength plus athletics without any minuses because he's sitting in front of you. It should be a pretty easy target. 2 successes. Excuse me. So let me give him his wounds. So you kick the poor guy while he's down. You literally kick the guy while he's down.
I regret nothing.
And let me try and figure out here if he maintains his grasp. You sent him tumbling backwards, but he still does hold on to your. He's got a death grip on your glaive.
How the fuck has he not severed all the tendons in his hand?
Well, he's not holding he's not trying to damage himself. He's just trying to keep a hold on it. It's got I presume it's got one edge on the blade as opposed to being like infinite edges around all sides.
The entire thing is on fire. Hey, when we're done here, I want to enchant item. Make this thing on fire.
He sits down, and then you kick him and knock him over. And he kind of, since he's got this death grip on your glaive, he kind of yanks it, but you don't. Well, why don't you give me a strength roll of your own to make sure you hold on to it?
God damn it.
4 strength, 0 successes.
Shit.
So he tumbles backwards, and with his death grip on your glaive, he manages to yank it out of you've only got one hand on it, so he yanks it out of your hand. No, maybe you've still got 2 hands on it, I don't know, but he yanks it out.
I'm quick drawing my Glock.
Next turn, you are quick drawing your Glock. And now, without anyone holding him upright, he falls all the way back and just sends the glaive clattering to the ground. He wasn't expecting you to completely let go like that.
Yeah, it was on purpose.
Sneaky. Good job.
You're welcome, everyone.
Great job. And Merovingian.
All right, so the whole plan was distract all the students with the flashlight and make my way over to where Applewhite was, so I guess I'll do that.
Okay.
How far can I get?
If you run, you can make it all the way to Honey Badger.
Yeah, I'll run.
Okay.
So then, taking in what I see...
What you see is the glaive lying on the ground next to Applewhite, who's splayed unglamorously across the floor. Would you give me a wits plus what's the popular roll that we always do?
Composure.
Wits plus composure. Yes, give me a wits plus composure roll.
Sure.
1 success. There's not a great deal of light back here, but something strikes you as fishy about the ground.
Oh, shit.
As in, it resembles a fish?
Yeah, well, if that's how you interpret it, yes.
Okay. I do have night sight up. Is that affected? It's really it says it lessens penalties, but I don't know if it actually makes me see better.
I didn't give
in
you
the
a penalty on that roll, but why don't you now roll? Just give me a Gnosis plus prime roll without any minuses.
Okay.
Dang, that's a lot of dice. Okay, there's a layer of sort of reddish magic, like a film, covering the ground. And now with the students out of your hair and the light not flashing in your eyes, and there's fewer distractions back here in the dark, and your prime sight comes to the fore, and you can now discern that there's a thin film of magic across the whole floor.
Like everything back here, not just back in this corner, but everywhere.
Well, now that you look back the way you came, yes, it looks like it's sort of everywhere in this cavern.
Oh no. Okay. So do I see that he's dropped his gun?
Well, both of his hands look to be empty. One of them is bleeding because he grabbed the apparently infinitely bladed glaive and he yanked it away from Honey Badger. But otherwise, he's sprawled on the ground, not holding any weapons.
Do I see his gun? I want to pick up his gun. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it's yeah. You had some good rolls on your perception checks there. I'm sure you do see the gun. So if you want to pick it up, go ahead.
I'll pick it up and just aim it at him and say, "Stay down."
Okay. You want to give me like a persuasion or an intimidation check or something? Or you just want to say it and see what happens?
I'll do a persuasion, sure.
Okay.
I'll say, "Stay down or I'll shoot you."
Roll...
Like we shot your buddy.
Oh, jeez. Roll manipulation plus persuasion. +1 for the fact that you're holding a gun. Ooh, okay. 1 success. Whatever resolve he had looks like it has begun to partially crumble. He seems like he's on the verge of tears. And that brings
this
us
guy collapses like a bitch all the time.
And that brings us to Applewhite. So his instruction from Yoder was to sit down and shut up and just not say anything?
Right. At the
Okay.
time. Just because I didn't want him yelling at the college students.
Okay.
Yeah, they're delicate.
But I have a
flowers.
plan, don't worry.
Well, then that is what he is bound to do on his turn. He does sort of roll over onto his hands and knees and get up off the ground a little bit, but he doesn't stand and he doesn't say anything. And now the students, they've been told to group up, and they just continue to mill around in the flashlight, not accomplishing a great deal. And now it is Ender's turn.
Hooray. Well, things seem to be under control, so I'm gonna... Well,
On your turn, the spiders move some more.
alright. What can I do to his mind?
While you make up your mind, the spiders move some more.
Okay. So if I use emotional urging, what emotion would I use?
Well, fear's always a popular one.
Well, I kind of just wanted to, like, give up.
Nihilism.
Is depression an emotion? Yeah, nihilism. I'd like
None
to
of this
emotionally
matters.
urge nihilism on Applewhite.
Okay. Is that a rote?
It is not.
All right. Give me mind plus gnosis, which is still a shit ton of dice.
Holy
Yes.
shit.
What?
What?
Huh.
He's gonna kill himself now, isn't he?
Wow.
You reach out with your magic and touch his mind, and you've emotionally urged people before. You've even used telepathy before. You're accustomed to what human minds feel like. And sort of similar to what I described when Yoder took over his physical form, you feel sickly and wrong reaching into this mind. It's a void of emotion. It
So it's
has
wrong
no
compared
emotions.
to the other emotions that I have urged.
The mind feels wrong.
Okay.
And among other things, it feels like it has no emotions to manipulate.
Huh.
So stuffing it full of nihilism is actually pretty successful. It's already sort of nihilistic to begin with.
Oh.
There's anger there. Anger and nihilism are sort of the two fighting for prominence. So you shove nihilism to the fore, and the anger begins to fade. And
Something.
yeah, and Applewhite sort of crumples a bit back toward the floor. He had risen to his hands and knees, and now he sort of settles his forehead against the ground, and he's forming a nice stable tripod. Yoder, unless you want to move or anything with the rest of your actions.
I think I'll sneak up and stand. Wait. Kind of. Yeah, move around
Into the light?
group and yeah,
You just stand right in the flashlight there.
yeah, sure.
Oh boy.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Okay. Yoder.
You're backlit though, so it'll be real.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic.
I would like
Yeah.
to. Is Applewhite's not holding the glaive anymore, right? That got.
He's not holding the glaive. He's not holding the gun. He's in sort of a
crouched position.
Yeah, kind of like he's praying or something.
Okay. Well, at this time I want him to explain. He's just going to feel like wants to explain what's happening, what he's telling, why he's having these people dig. He wants to tell us what's going on. I'm going to make him tell us what's going on.
Do you want to move closer or anything? I mean, you can't
long as it's
hear.
not
If he says anything, you're not going to be able to hear it. So.
I would like to move as close as I can, close to him as long as it's not going to break, what I'm doing.
You can move and
move.
concentrate on the
Okay.
spell.
Then yes,
think.
I would like to do that. Then yes.
As long as you're not doing anything else, we'll let you walk into the room. And
I think that would fall under active spells, right?
yeah, so it's possible that precludes movement. I'm going to let you do it anyway. I think it makes sense if you're able to move closer and then demand some speech from him. If you're still standing way the fuck out there and you're asking him to talk, you're not gonna get any feedback.
Hey, what did he say?
And also, you step on Norland's spiders. I'm just kidding. So you want him to
Explain what's going on.
Explain what he's doing.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we will wait for his turn then. He turns and looks straight at you on your turn as you command him, and you see a glint of recognition or something in his eye. Perhaps he's acknowledging your command, or maybe he's resolving to stand up and charge you. You're not sure. Honey Badger.
Don't
Okay.
kill him.
Don't kill him.
That was his whole turn, man.
Yeah, I was gonna quick draw my gun and put 2 bullets into each eye.
Yeah, but then we won't know what's happening.
2 bullets into each eye?
Yeah,
Dang! All in one turn?
What are you made of bullets?
yeah. I was gonna make my gun magical and then do that.
maybe we could figure out why he's down here and then worry about magical guns.
Also, I kind of have him at gunpoint, so
You could retrieve your glaive
Yeah. Okay.
and
Can I
menace
do-
him with
can I-
that.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Lucky Coin on his gun, and then I'm gonna pick up my glaive. So that's Gnosis plus Fate. So 7.
Doe.
Fucking A. Everything
The
sucks
dice
down here.
the dice are not your friend.
So now what does that mean? His gun explodes in his hand?
No, it means it doesn't have any equipment bonus on his next action.
Okay, but it's not a spectacular failure. It doesn't like my
No.
mind doesn't start bleeding out my ears.
If that happened while you were casting a vulgar spell, then something like that might happen. Yeah, but
Okay,
Lucky
I'm
Coin?
just retarded
No.
and don't know what I'm doing. Wait. Let me check. Was Lucky Coin a rote? It was a rote. Son of a bitch.
well, what's the dice pool if you do it the right way?
8 instead of 7.
Why'd you roll one more die?
Chance die.
Oh,
it wasn't meant to be.
Fine. I'm gonna pick up my glaive.
all right. Roll dexterity. No, just kidding. You pick up your glaive. That would be
it
too
anyway.
cruel. Oh no! Oh, hey, all right. You do like you do a cartwheel and pick up your glaive while your hands are on the ground, and everyone looks at you like you're like they're not sure why you just did that, but.
But now Applewhite knows he ain't fucking with just nobody.
Yeah, you want to point the glaive back at him from your new position after your cartwheel or anything like that?
I'm gonna point it at his balls.
Ooh.
Jeez.
All
Apparently
right.
his side didn't matter, but if it's pointed at his balls, maybe he'll care.
All right, that's aggressive. The Merovingian.
All right. Well, Honey Badger seems to have him subdued, and he's probably way better at that than I am, even with a gun. So now that I've noticed there's fucking red magic shit everywhere, I want to know more about that.
Okay.
Try to figure out what that means.
Okay. Give me.
By the way, I have my glaive pointed at his balls, but with outside of his reach.
Good call. that
Back
fucker,
up a couple feet.
he likes grabbing glaives.
Mhm.
Why don't you roll intelligence plus investigation plus gnosis minus 3.
That's a lot of math.
It's 3 numbers.
It's 4.
Okay.
1 success.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm new at this still.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you recall now that red magic is typically mind magic. So there's definitely some mind-based effect over the whole area. Not where it would affect you, you don't imagine, but down at the ground.
There is mind magic on the ground.
All throughout here, yes.
All throughout here. Huh.
Would you like to move or say anything, or...
I'll just say to Honey Badger, hey, don't lay down.
Don't lie down.
What the fuck?
Okay.
There's mind magic here
Oh, okay.
on the ground. So don't do any more cartwheels. Might
So
get it
it's
on
now Applewhite's turn again, and he is completely passive. So we're gonna say probably we're out of initiative order at this point. If you guys have any questions for him or anything, and until Yoder decides to drop his spell or somebody decides to make an attack, we'll just proceed conversationally.
Okay, I'm gonna recall my spiders to my box.
Okay.
I don't think we need them biting him at this point.
they will continue. All right. So Yoder asked, "What's going on down here?" And Applewhite says, I don't know. Everyone's digging down here. I don't know why she wants us digging. But it's like working for Emperor Palpatine, all right?
Who is she? She who?
I don't... She
Also,
found...
that's not how you pronounce that.
Palpatine. He's not enough of a nerd to know that.
Okay.
She found me after I ran away from you guys. Back out near Ron's house. And his whole body shudders. And he looks down at the ground again like he wants to vomit. He says she stuck her hand in my chest and just fucking killed me.
So that still didn't tell me who she is.
I don't know who she is. But she wouldn't let me leave.
Can you describe her?
Well, I didn't get a real good look at her, but I'd say she was probably a lesbian.
Oh, good. It's Fluke.
Or Mary Fluke.
Was she black, shimmery, and menacing?
No. I mean, she was menacing. And he looks down at his chest. And his shirt is torn. You've noticed that before, but it doesn't look like the flesh underneath has been disturbed. And he seems as puzzled by that as well, he seems puzzled by that.
I'd like to use forensic gaze on him.
Okay.
Which allows me to discern cause of death and time since death, just by looking.
All right, do it. Death plus gnosis, I assume?
Yeah, it's death 1. Not a great roll.
That's a pretty good result, though. Yeah, you're looking at a corpse. It's not like the cadavers that you've fought previously. It's not like the skeletons or the zombies up in the mummies up in Sudbury. It seems like the soul is still here, the mind is still here, but for all your forensic gaze can tell, this is a corpse. It's a dead thing. And what your forensic gaze tells you is that Applewhite's heart abruptly stopped about 12 hours ago.
Huh.
Can I make a roll to check out this floor of mind magic that is a thing?
Sure. Give me mind plus gnosis -3.
Wait.
Yeah, sure. One success. It's not just so the Merovingian described a film or a blanket. That's not quite what you see with mind magic. There's definitely an effect down on the ground here, but it's not just a blanket. It looks more like an interconnected network of effects.
I feel like we
Okay.
probably shouldn't break that.
Okay, so I'm I just leveled up to Fate 4,
Oh,
and I'm gonna
Right.
cast Destroy Bindings on this guy, which is a vulgar spell.
Neat.
let's take a look. So, vulgar spell, first of all, that's good to know. I will, give me a second though to look up the Fate.
So Destroy Bindings on page 156.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Destroy bindings. free a soul that has been forcibly bound outside of its proper place. The caster can sever the connection between a mage and her familiar, release a spirit that has been placed into a blah blah blah, free a ghost from an anchor. So you're going to roll Gnosis plus Fate, and your successes will be compared to the bond's potency. In other words, the number of successes that were accrued when the spell was cast. Cool. Go ahead and give it a roll.
Willpower.
Oof. Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's a good fucking roll.
Let me see something real quick.
I mean, it's no 8 on 8 dice.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I'm up against a Deuces, so I assumed the bond would be strong.
Yep, the bond is strong, but that was sufficient. Applewhite, you see his eyes cloud over, and he looks straight at you like he's looking into your soul and says, "Thank you." And he falls over dead.
Got what we came for.
I want to search his body for stuff.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Find the hidden hoard. Nah. He's carrying a knife. It's like a folding spider knife. It's a decent knife. Why don't you roll investigation plus Gnosis?
Okay.
You're pretty sure this is a magical implement. It's probably his something that he's used to cast spells. Aside from that, he's got a wallet. He's got a few dollars in cash for some reason, and then plastic. And his ID says that his name is Barry Robb.
Barry Robb. Okay.
Or was Barry Robb. That's pretty much all he's got on him, actually, is his ID and his implement. It looks as though his body and his clothing were sort of ravaged by the last 12 hours of existence as a revenant and digging.
Okay, and I've got his gun.
You do have his gun.
Is there anything I should know about his gun?
No, it's just a gun. It's got it's a Glock. He shot several times at you, I think, or was it at Timmy? I can't remember. So it's not full.
Sure.
And he didn't have a spare clip on him.
Did anything change with the students?
No, they are continuing to mill around in the light of the flashlight. Would everyone please give me a Wits plus Composure roll? Look at all the dice. Okay. You hear a voice.
Oh, good.
Oh, well, if it isn't my little stalkers. Hello again.
Hi.
Don't fucking son. Just
Oh, I remember you. You're the backstabber.
I'm guessing she's looking at me.
You hear the last few words directly in your ear, yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You hear a laugh.
How's it going?
Great! Come on up the tunnel and find out.
Okay, we'll be right there.
Um,
Are they still
So-
digging, or have they stopped?
They're still digging. It's cool.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
your voice changer kind of didn't work.
Huh?
Your voice changer was working, but then it wasn't.
It only works sometimes.
Okay. Okay.
I want to check on the students and see if there's anything I can do to like.
Well, I feel like I could start destroying bindings, but that is a vulgar spell, and stacking that up is probably a bad idea.
Oh yeah, I have to
Probably.
add you to the paradox list.
Yeah.
Everyone's got one Oh, I forgot to roll paradox for you.
Uh-oh.
But it's too late for that now.
Do you have a
I
magical
told you
tool?
like before anything that I don't
Yeah, I
have
know.
any magical.
But I forgot.
I do have that orb.
Mhm,
But I didn't use that.
You've got. Okay, so you've got the orb. Who has the bell?
Not I.
Who actually has it? I'm
I
not
thought
sure.
Albacore had it.
I think Albacore has it.
Yeah, I
Is
think
there
I
anything
still
crazy
have it.
going with the blackness from the orb?
In fact, yes. You've seen periodically just beams of darkness traveling through the room here. They phase through the walls. They go north and south and east and west. They had some interest in what's his name? Applewhite.
Applewhite.
Yeah, there were a few of them zooming around him, but now that he's dead, they seem to have lost interest. Aside from that, there's not a ton of them congregating in this chamber.
Okay.
So that's you and Albacore who can see that currently. Yoder
Yeah.
and Ender, not so much.
Okay. Okay.
So
Well,
somebody
can I
wanted to
have-
do something with the students?
Yeah, I want to like see if there's something like are they in some kind of under some kind of spell that I can dispel or
Why don't you pick one out and give me a Gnosis plus Prime plus Investigation -5.
holy cow. All right. Gnosis plus prime plus investigation -5 be 7.
Still quite a few dice.
And I want to pick out the one that's off by itself.
The one
in the
behind the pillar up there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to go over by him?
Yes.
Okay. So 3 successes.
Wow.
You wave your hands around his head and think about it for a minute, and you find what you would deem a clever arrangement of spells that seems like it's self-sustaining. Like, there's no one that has to maintain this spell. It looks like a mind magic. It looks like maybe this person's under mind control or something. You're not great at discerning exactly what's going on with the mind magic, but there's a spell, and it's interwoven with 1 or 2 other spells from other arcana, and they're all self-contained inside this person's head. There's no influence from the outside.
Huh.
Okay. I have a thought. So, when they were up in Sudbury, they found the oath that Adustus had sworn to become like an archmage and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to sever that oath.
That's going to be hard to target. You'll have to
Okay.
find Adustus.
Okay. Well, when I find Adustus, I'm going to do that. So you should probably know what the oath's potency is if you don't already.
Okay.
It's 11 billion.
Well, the oath was to kill an exarch.
Yeah.
He's already, as far as you know, he's already become an archmage. That's already happened.
Well, yeah, but by making that oath, it made him stronger, didn't it? Isn't that the contention?
The oath, yeah, that's sort of an old school sort of belief in magical circles, swearing an oath and putting it to paper and writing it out in a very formal way and declaring it to the universe, you are effectively forming the imago of a very large, very powerful spell and giving yourself a better shot at making it happen.
Maybe I should swear an oath to screw him again. Let me think about this.
All right, while he thinks about that, I'm going to go pick up my flashlight and, while I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out what I want to do about these, like, self-contained spells.
When you pick up the flashlight, the students disperse and return to digging.
Huh.
So using my mind magic, I can't really like do any dispelling, right? I can just like add new things on top of existing minds.
I don't think you can dispel with mind magic. No, at least not with. How many dots in mind do you have?
4.
I'm wondering if you could unravel a mind spell if you had enough. I think you can. I think any mage can counterspell something if they've got sufficient dots in that arcanum.
Can that not be somehow tied in with my destroy binding spell and do like a big bang up here?
The destroy binding that you cast on Applewhite?
No, I'm saying that type. If I merged my ability to do that spell with his ability to do his mind spell, can't we do something crazy?
Yeah, because I feel like I could like target one guy at a time and possibly dispel what's controlling them, but then it's going to take like 3 days to get to everyone.
Yeah, I want to do like a mass destroy bindings.
Well, you're probably going to have to start smaller. I don't think you're going to be able to cast magic on that scale right now, but you could work together with the mind mage here and see if you can have some impact on at least one person and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay. Try your thing. See what happens.
Do you want to pitch in with some sort of a destroy bindings type spell, or?
Well, that's vulgar, so I don't know.
Okay. Let me look up counterspell while Norland gets his dice ready.
So ready.
Counter magic 122 to 123 in the mage book.
I can bestow exceptional luck on him, but that would burn one of my 2 mana.
You could probably do something to help him.
Hey, the Merovingian.
Yeah, that's gonna
Give me
be
one of them
easy.
mana potions.
Sure, give me the bottle back when you're done with it. So I hand it to him.
Sure.
Okay,
So
so
If I
there's
drink that, how much do I get back?
1.
one mana per potion. Yes, 1 mana per
How many
potion.
got?
1. Well, now none. You're holding it.
So counter magic. There are 3 ways to cast to destroy another spell. One is dispel magic, whereby you cancel existing spells, and that's on page 220. Then there's magic shield, where you shield yourself against spells, and then there's counterspell, where you block a spell as it's being cast. So right now you're talking about dispel magic, which is on page 220. So let's look at that.
Is that a
That's in
specific
prime.
skill
That's
spell?
just in prime. Is that really the only people who can do that? It might be.
I mean, so the brief description you have for controlled dispellation reads kind of like I could be able to do this for all targets? Or for multiple targets?
Well, controlled dispellation means you can choose, like if there's 3 people in a room, or if there's 3 spells on a target, you can choose to dispel one of the 3 spells, or you can target one of the 3 people in the room instead of a blanket target on everything. I don't think it lets you cast on just a mass huge number of people, but let's look it up.
I suppose it would depend. If there's one hallucination spell that's confusing everybody,
Yeah.
then I could dispel that one spell. But if there's an individual spell on each person, or what? These have multiple
Yeah,
spells on
So
each person.
the more verbose description says you can unravel an existing spell against only those targets you choose, letting the spell continue to affect others. So it would you any of you can cast spells on many targets, but it's very difficult. You will have a significant penalty on your dice pool. This is going to be easier for Ender or Honey Badger or anyone, Merovingian, to choose one target here and decide what you're going to try to do and focus on that one target. So, Ender, you can't cancel spells, but what you might be able to do is, cast something with mind magic that will give this person control over, bring their mind back into the present and bring it into the forefront. Right now, it looks like they're being subdued by some other spell.
Okay.
You could boost the signal, so to speak, and let them bust through the magic on their own.
I like that. I'll try it on the target between me and Yoder right now.
Okay.
Any penalty on that?
You just have a target number here, so why don't you give me mind plus gnosis, and that's it. Mind plus gnosis.
Right.
You're reaching into this guy's head, trying to dig out his brain and pull it out of the muck and the mire and the swamp that it's in right now. You feel like you made some progress, but you're going to need to roll at least one more time to finish the process.
Sure.
Give me another one.
I used up all my good rolls.
All right, so that's enough though. That took you about 15 minutes of thinking about it and turning the spell over in your head and doing some more examination, and then
Okay.
But after 15 minutes, you think you've got this person's mind back in working condition, and that suspicion is reinforced when the student's eyes clear and she stares at you and begins to scream bloody murder.
Oh, good.
And she's looking around in panic, and she doesn't know where she is. And you're not saying anything, so she continues to scream.
Push
Backs
your
up
brain
against the
back
wall.
down. Push your mind back down.
Would anyone like to say anything? Or
I'd like to say you're safe now. We've rescued you. We're rescuing you.
what the hell is happening down here? Well, she doesn't even know she's down. What the hell is happening here?
It's a flash mob.
Oh, I don't remember joining a flash mob. I didn't see anything on Snapchat.
It was an impromptu flash mob.
Well, those are the best kinds, but who gave me the roofie?
Jesus. What's the last thing you remember?
I was walking to class.
What
That's
day?
it?
What day was it?
It was Tuesday.
What day is today?
It was
Probably still
Wednesday.
too. Oh,
Okay, so
Okay.
is this the woman we followed here?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Do we see her?
Yes, you see her.
I feel like we need to give her directions out, but
I don't
think
remember.
she's gonna make it.
It's going to be a bit of a trek. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She'll be naked by the time she gets there. I'll walk her out.
Yeah.
This was a bad idea.
What the hell are you doing?
See?
We're just hanging out, doing a flash mob. I want to.
Well, cut it out. My patience is limited.
I would like to fabricate fortune, which
Fabricate
I
fortune.
yeah, I want to create a false destiny.
Okay.
What?
Are you going to give her a false destiny?
No. I'm going to create a false, and I'm not going to tell the rest of the group that I'm doing this,
Okay.
but I'm going to create the false destiny that the Merovingian kills Augustus.
Oh. Is this Fate 4?
No, this is like Fate 2.
Well,
3,
hang on.
Fate 3. It's
Hang
page
on.
155.
Before you, I see you got 6 successes, but we need to establish the dice pool for this, Drew.
I already, it's not
already
contested
established
or
it, it's
anything.
fine.
Yeah, but there may be a penalty. This sounds like a pretty complicated, difficult. Well, I don't know. Let me read the fucking spell. What page is it on?
155.
155. Would you please take your phone off your desk? Fabricate fortune. False destiny upon a person or thing. Can make a given thing seem destined to come to pass, even if none of the momentum of destiny is behind it, deceiving others with the power to perceive fortune. A dagger seems destined to slay a king, or a child looks okay. So, all right, that was a rollicking success. And anyone who examines the Merovingian at this point, unbeknownst to him, will be convinced that he is destined to kill Augustus.
You're welcome, buddy.
Awesome. Great. While all this is going on, I walked down to the south end of the cavern with my flashlight and checked out what's around that bend.
Sorry, you did. You went out to the. Say again. Went to
The south end of that cavern. Nope, that's north.
Oh, the south.
I think that's north.
It's not-
So you're gonna explore the rest of the cavern.
I'm
Yep.
going to advise Yoder or whoever
With my
woke this chick up to put her back under. At least knock her out.
So you have found the south end of the cavern. There's nothing of
All right.
interest down here.
I don't have a spell for that. I can only make myself go to sleep. I can't make other people go to sleep.
I suppose I could human minion her too, but I don't know what we...
Portal her to Paradigm.
She's got to be unconscious for that. We can't just like send her through a portal. That's vulgar as shit.
Yeah, and portals take 1 mana. I think.
Probably. Yeah.
She looks nervous, but the fact that you're talking like normal humans in her presence now it seems to have calmed her a bit. I'm gonna roll some dice real quick. She says, "What am I stepping in?"
Oh God.
It's
Nothing.
Can we keep her steered away from the dead body? By the way, that'd be a good idea. She's seen our faces.
Yeah, it's behind a thing.
Well, I just,
fine.
as I walked over from the dead body, I'm keeping it hidden as best I can.
Okay.
Wise. I'm going to draw a different circle for her to indicate that she is the special one who is awake. All right, so what are we doing here? The other students are continuing to slam flat panel monitors and vacuum cleaners into the and Swiffers and once in a while a pickaxe or a shovel into the ground around you. And what's her name here is looking increasingly confused by the ongoing activity.
Yeah. Maybe she needs a friend.
Oh, shit.
I think maybe we should try to wake another one up. It
So,
seems like
Listen, we need to get the hell out of here. We're not going to fight Augustus today. We don't have any mana. I'm still badly hurt. We need to get the fuck out of Dodge. So I'm going to go up. I want to talk to the girl. I want to use my manipulation, persuasion, and misdirection, con jobs, all that stuff to tell her that what she doesn't remember was she was part of a hypnotist thing at the quad or some shit. And it went awry when the hypnotist had a heart attack and everyone went a little nuts, and so we're trying to round everybody up and get them the fuck out of
So you're doing this with manipulation roll?
well, I've got con jobs, misdirection, persuasion, and manipulation. So I don't know what combination we want to use, but probably not just manipulation.
No. So it will be manipulation.
Sure.
So manipulation plus subterfuge with a +1 for your many specialties.
Okay.
With you know what? I'll give you a +1 for barfly too.
Okay.
Hey, baby.
Okay. Persuasion doesn't come into play then? We'll just do that? That's fine.
Wait. Persuade? No. Well, you can either persuade her or you can have all the benefits from your subterfuge skill.
Yeah,
you
we'll
can't
do
use skills.
that's fine. Cool. Sweet. Let's do it.
Okay. So you were saying, okay, sweetie, we there was some shyster up on the quad using crazy dumb hypnotist and roofies and hypnotism and
I'm not saying roofies. I don't want my face or name or anything associated with the word roofies.
Or you tell me what you're saying.
I'm saying that there was a hypnotist, and he hypnotized a whole bunch of students as part of like a show he was doing, but then he had a heart attack mid-show. And so now we're trying to like round up the people who got messed up, and we were able to snap her out of it, and we're working on the rest. But in the meantime, we need to get her out of here.
All right. So as you're talking to her, she's nodding and her eyes fill with tears, and she says, that makes sense. That's right. I'm sure that's what happened. I remember now. Oh, thank you so much. And she rushes out of the cavern and
take a left.
You see her. Yeah, I was gonna say. It's a good thing you shouted that at the last second because she was gonna turn right. So she turns right and then hears you shout and says, "Oh, okay, thanks," and turns around and runs left.
I'm guessing right is certain doom.
Well, right's not good. So she's headed down the tunnel and she shouts, "It's really hot in here."
It doesn't get better.
All right. So you may never see her again.
That's best. Okay, so here's the thing.
Why don't you take +1 XP for a thrilling story there? That was good.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyone else want to pitch in with an idea here, or how to proceed?
How's everybody doing on mana?
I'm not great. It was basically robbed entirely from office space.
I have 5.
Drew?
I have 3.
I'm gonna give Drew some mana.
What the hell? You said you only had 1.
I only have 1 mana potion.
Oh, well, if you had
he can just give you mana though.
Full of mana.
Oh.
Yeah, he can break up one of his.
Process.
Okay, well, here's my thought. Let's do this someplace that's not here.
All right. So first of all, well, why don't you do this now, Drew? You gain 1 mana and Albacore spends 1.
Can I do that like 4 times?
Yeah. Who needs mana?
Okay. Then I'm up to 7. Yay.
I'm down to 4, so I'm gonna suck some out of a
TAS
crystal.
Which crystal?
I have 3 normal task crystals, so I'll suck on one of those.
Okay. You get. Oops. Oh, that's a 10, so we'll let that stand. You get 2 mana out of it.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So you're distributing mana. Anyone else? Any ideas? Any suggestions? Any questions?
I was thinking of, I don't know if it would make sense, but to get some of these things from stop digging a little longer, I could trigger lizard brains and make them all scared and run away. If we think that would be helpful. Well, it sounds like, at least Honey Badger just wants to get the hell out of here, which
Yeah.
I don't disagree with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's my
Well,
thought. Let's
That
make
was
a
when he
portal
had no
to,
mana. He's got mana now.
Yeah, I'm still dying. Let's make a portal to like the magical cops place. Jump through it and be like, we know where Odysseus is. Follow us, and then they come back in here with us. We bring an army.
Let me make a quick roll.
Sure.
Well, we know somebody that. Well, Augustus's voice is here.
Let me figure out what the roll is.
Wait. Can we see his like Fluke was tracking his Nimbus? Can we see evidence of his Nimbus?
Sorry, 1 second. Telling this puzzle.
Well, if any of our mage
So-
sites are up, we can see it. We should be able to see
Even
it.
know what
All right,
this
so
looks
so
like.
so I'm going to keep these dice here. I'm going to roll them in a minute if I need to. What was the question?
Can we see Odysseus' Nimbus?
The Merovingian, would you please give me a... well, why don't you all give me wits plus composure?
I got nothing.
Wow.
I didn't see nothing.
Well, ambiently in the environment, yes, Sammy and Yoder and Albacore, to this point, you have seen some little clouds of what you could only describe as nimbus, I suppose. Roiling black clouds. They're faint against the background. It doesn't look like, it's not like he's standing right here or anything, but there's definitely been some spell casting in the area, and it might be Odysseus. These are remnants of a nimbus, though. That much you're sure of. And you don't think it was Applewhite's nimbus.
Well, I like
All
the
right,
top
I'm
idea better than
going to
charging
make a
down the
common
hallway.
sense roll. I'm going to make a common sense roll. That's luckily you've got lots of intelligence and whatever the other stat was, intelligence and wits, I think. Augustus is doing something down here, and you don't feel like it would necessarily be a good idea to leave and let him go at it.
God damn it.
Guys, we
Okay.
gotta stop this, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, which one of you bastards can enchant something?
Well, I say that, but I mean, without you at least need to understand more about what the fuck it is he's doing. Because if you just
Yeah.
leave right now, you've got an extremely unsettling feeling about
Well,
the fact
so
that
all
there's
right, so
something going on.
here's what the Merovingian is thinking about. We know there is a vampire stratum. We have detected that there is all kinds of fucking magic at like this layer of the earth. It's all mind magic. So he doesn't really know. I don't know what that really means, but I have a concern that this is like a protective binding, keeping the vampire stratum a stratum.
I
And,
had the exact same feeling.
and that Augustus is trying to get these idiots to find a hole or dig through it so that he can bypass it or somehow break it. And I don't know if there's a source to this or what.
Are you
Maybe
saying this
Yoda's
out loud?
idea
Are you
of making
discussing
them
this
run away.
Are you discussing this?
Yes,
as a
we're
group, or
discussing
is-
this
Okay.
as a
Well, you're not wrong.
Oh god
good.
damn it.
My magic's the only thing keeping every single vampire here. All these delicious vampires asleep.
Okay.
So are you gonna like keep that up?
Well, who knows what'll happen? Then again, maybe I'll just wake him up myself. That does seem to be the point here, after all. Doesn't it?
I don't like that.
Maybe not.
It doesn't seem that simple, because if you would just wake him up, you just would. But you aren't.
Well, maybe I want them all at once.
Well, right. So you can't just wake him up right now. Or at least you're Choose not to.
Okay,
He laughs
so the
again.
students are clearing the way. Once they're all uncovered, they all wake up.
So we need to get this to stop. The digging needs to stop.
They're not really digging. It's like they're just knocking on the ground.
Yeah, they're making
they're digging.
progress. All the
They're
same.
digging.
They're just doing it poorly.
I mean, if digging was the ultimate goal, why wouldn't he have enchanted one of these guys to go get shovels or a pickaxe or something, not a fucking flat panel monitor?
Some of them have shovels.
They're using whatever they have available.
He
They're
doesn't want a
smashing through the
shovel
ground.
theft spree to trigger the authorities' attention. That's what it is. Okay. I guess I'm gonna turn to the dude to my right, to the east, and
Okay.
try to dispel everything.
Okay. Give me prime plus. Well, you've got. Do you have it as a rote yet? The dispellation spell, or is it
Let's
just
check.
prime plus gnosis?
It is just prime plus gnosis.
Okay. Well, then give me prime plus gnosis. Then you're gonna need to exceed 5.
Damn. All right.
That spell didn't work, but you feel like you could probably continue it within the roll and take another crack and add to your successes.
All right.
Nobody's here trying to interrupt you. Well, you're gonna need another one.
Yeah. The implied. Okay, so this is not going to be a practical way to do this.
No. Neither was my method.
Okay. Well, he looks like he might be like a football player.
Of course.
And he's wielding like a fire axe he found somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And he stands up straight and looks around and seems very confused and takes off sprinting.
Go left.
Oops.
Oh, he got real long.
He's very long. He takes off. He's not having any of it, but he does seem to have listened to you, and he goes left.
Okay, how many of these people have implements that actually will do any significant digging?
Well, they've dug out this whole cavern, so, I mean, none of them have a jackhammer, and you're not sure how long they've been at it, but they've made a lot of progress here. It's hard to say who's done the most.
Well, I mean, if somebody has an actual shovel or pickaxe versus a flat, I mean, if I see a guy with a flat panel monitor, I'm going to leave his shit alone. He's ineffective. But if I'm going to go run around casting monkey paw on anything that's decent, I kind of want to know how many times I'd have to do that.
You're wasting your time.
God damn it. Okay. Well, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go charge this motherfucker. How the hell do I make my glaive enchanted? One of you guys make this thing magic so when I stick it in his ass, he feels it. Yeah, you hear that, bitch?
I mean, I can activate an enchanted item, but I don't. I have a feeling enchanting something. I have ephemeral enchantment. Enchant an object to strike or protect against twilight or shadow entities. That's not what he is. Otherwise, I think enchanting it is going to be, I would assume, like a ritual type job.
All right. Well, fuck it then.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to do this the old-fashioned way.
I mean, I could cast my spell to give you more skill dots.
Don't worry about it.
Ooh, yeah. 404? Or
Yeah,
not a number?
yeah, one of those.
Those are good spells. You've not
Divine
cast those
skills.
yet.
I cast them once. I don't think it was. I think it was before the ghost fight.
I can raise a bunch of your attributes if you'd like.
What? You know, I feel like you guys are building me up to be the tank when I'm still almost dead.
Yeah, let's take a look at your.
We're just you're the one that's saying you're going to charge it, so I'm just trying to help you in what you're
Well,
going to
I'm
do.
also saying that loudly, and I've set up a whole trap here where he's going to hopefully get drawn into paying attention to the Merovingian.
So you've got a couple of aggravated wounds that are going to take some doing to get rid of, but you could ask for a heal and get rid of. You've got a bashing and a lethal wound sitting there, waiting for some help.
That'd be great. You know what? I got a headache here. Can you guys maybe?
I'll roll my shit here. All right, healing heart. I'll roll healing heart on you if you'd like.
Okay. Meanwhile,
holy balls, that's a lot of fun.
Holy shit!
Boom.
So what does that do when it's a 5? And why is that black square over top of us?
It's watching you. There's a beam of black light in here.
I cured up to 5 lethal and
Bashing or
bashing.
lethal, yeah.
So 2 of them are good.
Yeah, you're all healed up and you feel invigorated.
Yeah, except for the stab wounds in my abdomen.
Except for they were clavicles, but yeah.
Could I get some of that love? I still have holes from axes.
Sure.
Okay, we got this black thing. You know what, guys? I don't like it.
Well, you only get one.
Damn it.
Better than nothing.
Better than nothing, I'll take it. All right. Okay, so which way we want to go? We want to go
right
or up?
I guess so.
Okay.
Anybody?
So
I want to
or up?
cast. I want to cast Occlude Destiny on the Merovingian.
Now you're gonna hide the destiny that you just put on him.
I want to prevent it from being tampered with. I don't want to prevent others from perceiving, but I suppose that would do both. So never mind.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna put a false destiny on the guy and then occlude it, you've just.
Yeah, well, if his destiny was occluded, that might draw him in even. So then he wastes some mana trying to get at it. I don't know. Nah, forget it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I want to backtrack and check that other tunnel that we passed.
No.
All right,
Take
so
a minute and run back there.
I just don't want to be caught off guard,
Well, we're gonna be.
taken from behind.
You don't want to be flanked.
No, you're used to that.
Ouch. Flip of the coin. I want to cast Flip of the coin.
You want to see whether
We should go back to the other tunnel or take it right. It's
Or take it right.
it's gonna use a mana, but I get those for free though, so that's not a big deal.
That's cool. They're real easy to get.
Yep.
So you're trying to tell. Let me find flip of the coin. Is it one
Well,
dot or two
hopefully
dots?
It's 2 dots. It's
dots.
flip of the coin is 259.
Flip of the coin. 250. What am I looking at? Holy crap!
I
It's
don't
not
know.
fade
It's
at
a-
all, huh?
No, it's a time spell.
Oh, that's way different. Okay. 259. Flip of the coin. Glance forward and check the outcome of a simple undertaking, one with only 2 major variables. So you want to check the side tunnel and tell whether it's going to result in good things or bad things generally, or
Yeah, which basically is left or right more tied to certain doom.
is left or right more tied to certain doom?
I
With the
think
assumption
right
that
now
with the assumption
That's
that they're
right.
both tied to certain doom to some extent.
Yeah.
Okay. You get, strangely enough, the impression that the side tunnel is more tied to certain doom, whereas turning right is somewhat less tied to certain doom.
Fuck. He was insinuating we should go right.
Yeah, Adustus seemed to want you to come check it out.
Well, guys, inclined to say we still go right because I didn't really tell you what that told me, so I'm just saying let's go right.
You've been telling
Alright,
people to go
sounds
left
good.
all this time.
That's left is safety. Do you want safety or do you want to put an end to this shit?
Both and?
Let's go right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't you send your asshole fingering buddy to the left and see what's up if you're so curious about that?
I
Create
didn't say I
another
was. I'm good.
Send another Steve down there.
make another Steve. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big expenditure of mana just to do something Stu could do for free.
So
Plus
the other
Stu
thing,
can't
the other
be
thought that I do kind of like, I don't have rope with me anymore. How much rope do we have?
I have 0 rope.
Nope.
I'm thinking
Can you
Yoder
open
probably
your-
has some rope.
Do your we don't have enough to tie up everybody here, but do the spiders have enough rope that they've made, perhaps?
Well, they're wasting their time making shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe they made some rope to make some more shirts.
Maybe we can tie people up with shirts.
Let me check in the box. Nope.
You guys have any rope?
I got a crop top if you want it.
It downgrades 1 lethal to 1 bashing every other round.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. Well, the other option is we can shoot all these guys in the head.
Oh Jesus!
Let's deal with them later.
Yeah,
Let's just keep going.
Okay. Well, if you guys all insist.
Yeah.
Okay,
We continue down the tunnel.
you turn right, and you see something.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that's more or less the effect you get from the person standing in front of you. Sort of
Is that a guy
dangling in
with
midair.
bats?
No, it's the tar monster from the episode of Star Trek where Tasha Yar dies.
I was just gonna say it looked a lot
Yeah.
like that.
That was on the other night. I watched it. It was just as sad.
It's a fucked up episode.
Well, she dies
But-
in like the first act, too. It was crazy.
You see, well, she doesn't die in the first act. She gets sucked into the tar in the first act, and then the monster keeps taunting them by pushing her face up. And yeah,
Spoiler
Anyway.
alert.
yeah.
Jesus. I haven't
30
seen
years
that
ago.
one yet.
You see that. You see a female form covered in inky black tar,
Sure.
seemingly suspended in the tunnel. The tar is dripping off of her toes onto the floor. There's clearly some clearance there, there's a few inches. She is not standing on the ground. And Honey Badger and Ender see a huge number of those black beams twisting and turning around this form, seeming to sort of try and jab at it, like they're trying to connect to this person, which you assume probably is Adustus. They're trying to attach and wrap Adustus, like you saw happening up above. You know, there was a tree that was all wrapped up by the black beams, and there were a number of people that had their heads encircled, like Valley High was one of them. This form does not have any black beams attached to it, but clearly they're trying, and they're all being deflected.
I wonder if the black beams are the vampire stratum trying to attach to something.
I was wondering if they were the Exarchs.
They are coming from somewhere above. The beams are.
The vampires would be below.
Yeah, that's true,
Uh,
yeah.
the bell that lets you see these things, you don't know a whole lot about its nature, but it certainly strikes you that the Exarchs are a more likely source than vampires. And the form, Adustus presumably, quietly turns around and begins drifting down the hallway in front of you, as if waiting for you to follow.
Oh,
But he's
good.
drifting away from us?
Away from you. It turns around and it is now drifting away from you down the hallway, just sort of assuming that you'll follow.
I'm down.
Send Stu back down the other hallway and tell us what's down the other hall,
That's okay. I can do that.
please.
Okay.
This is important.
Stu appears.
Which hall do we?
Yes,
want to go
master.
The way we didn't go.
The thing we didn't explore on
down?
the
So that
map.
little north.
What's
Yeah,
down that way?
Yep.
All right, Stu, go back.
I'm guessing
Okay,
it's a ferry.
I
There's
have
a ferry
really
pool back
screwed up
there.
my view here somehow.
I point down the hallway.
What did
tell
I
Stu,
do? Hang on.
Go that way.
Hang on. I screwed something up royally. I'm going to refresh the page. Okay, so you tell Stu, go back that way and go in the side
then
tunnel.
Go right. Yeah, go down that right side tunnel. Look around. Come back. Tell us what's there.
Okay. 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 And he disappears.
Okay.
And he reappears. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Well, okay. So that
It's
sounds good. What'd you see?
No, it's bad. No.
Yeah. What's there?
You remember that thing? The big nasty thing with baby heads all over it, and you guys sort of stabbed it a bunch, and then it fell over, and then it was out in the street.
Yep.
Remember that thing? It's kind of
Yes.
like that.
Okay.
Kind of like that.
Kind of like that.
Yeah. Well, there's like 3 of them too. So
Okay.
Oh, God damn it.
And what are they doing?
they're lying down. They look like they're
So they're just-
sleeping.
Okay. All right.
Is that well, okay, I'm assuming you told us what he said. Is that the thing that we fought at the boathouse?
No, the thing in the street out in front of.
Street, yeah.
Right out
And that
in
wasn't
front of,
Adustus? That was what Adustus created?
Yeah.
No, it was the.
No, it was
so
vampire gunk.
you fought vampires at the boathouse. They came up out of the
Oh, that's
water
right.
as part of like a tentacle, and they sort of tore themselves free and attacked you individually. But then there was a clump of them that somehow attached
right.
themselves to
Stu's
Sodom's car.
Sodom's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they came out from underneath the car and, as a group, stood up and attacked you as a very large abomination. And that's what Stu is referring to. He says there's 3 of them lying down in the room back that way.
So forward.
So let's
Onward!
down that hallway.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, we know what could go wrong if we go the other way.
True. We
Okay.
follow.
Let's go. Yeah.
You follow
Slowly.
the figure. Okay. Yeah, the figure's moving pretty slowly. It looks like physically it probably is Adustus. And it seems like maybe he's lost some control over the form that he's inhabited here because he's not ambulating under his own power at this point. He's floating without using his legs. You're not sure why he's doing that. I really screwed something up in my Firefox here. Just settle down, Firefox. Okay. Does anyone say anything, or do you just follow?
I'm just gonna follow right now.
Let's follow.
Yeah.
All right. Let's travel back to the campus map of the steam tunnels real quick. So you
I want
So-
to cast post cognition to just see what else, if I can kind of scan around a little bit to this area.
all right. First, let me
Maybe
do
how
this.
this got
Let's
here.
let's do this. You entered here. You traveled down this way. You encountered the natives here, the ghosts. Then you traveled south, and then east, and you found a hidden wall here. You traveled north, and then east, and right about here is where you encountered the caverns dug out of the tunnel.
Under the
and
historical society.
Applewhite. Yeah,
Interesting.
interestingly enough.
Kind of where the head of that arrow is probably that extra little tunnel that goes north.
Yeah, roughly here-ish, yeah. And now the shadowy form is floating down the hall this way. And it reaches a T intersection. Drew, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I want to cast post cognition to see kind of if I can deduce when this Adustus body got here. Or if it just randomly appeared or whatever.
So you want to pick this spot in space and rewind and see the comings and goings generally, and try to figure out when Adustus arrived here. Okay.
Yes.
This spot specifically.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the spot where we first saw her.
So before you leave, you want to cast this spell.
Yes.
Okay. Then back here, we're going to cast Post-Cognition. 3 successes. And with the ease of grandmother manipulating a VCR, you are able to scroll back and forth in time. And you see just a great flood of people walking up and down this tunnel for the last day-ish. And you do see this tar-stricken form still floating up and down the hallway, busily casting apparently spells on some of the new arrivals as they come down with their computer monitors and weed whackers. Sometimes Adustus shakes his head in dismay at the choice of implement. Sometimes he seems to nod in approval, but he always casts a spell and lets them go about their work. And he's been at this not here, but in the area, including this spot, for roughly a day or two. You can see as you fast forward and rewind, you can see the gaps in the walls being opened and the caverns bursting in fast forward, open and closed as you go forward and backward in time. They were not here prior to the last 2 days. The walls were busted down and the caverns dug out in the past 2 days.
Shit. Busy little beavers.
Okay.
So, Adustus reaches a T intersection and turns left. Do you continue to follow?
Yeah, we're idiots, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
At this point, you judge that you are under the library mall here, this sort of quadish looking area, and you enter a massive open space. It's an impossibly large cavern, similar to the ones you encountered before, but encompassing this whole area. And there are dozens of people and some strangely skeletal-looking people. The number of people down here digging would not have gone unaccounted for upstairs in the waking world. There would have been more than one minor little news report about some missing students if all these people had gone missing. From the way they're dressed, you suspect there's a significant vagrant population. Some severely undernourished people, some probably mentally ill people, all wearing rotten old clothing. At the moment, working together to dig. It seems like Adustus has been preying on the homeless population in Madison and sending them down here to open up this incredible cavernous space.
Anybody got Forces 5 by chance?
Honey Badger and the Merovingian, give me a wits plus composure roll, please. Oof. Okay. The concentration of black beams here, I mean, this correlates directly with the spot where you saw huge numbers of them pounding into the ground while you were up on the campus. This is where Honey Badger walked into the group of into the cluster of black beams and flicked the bird at the sky. This is, and you can see that they are all of those beams are penetrating the ground and looking at the activity down here, and they are very interested in the ongoing circumstance. And still they are being repelled from Adustus. They are very interested in him, but can't seem to latch on. Well, Adustus stops and sort of seems to straighten up a little bit, as if he's just noticed something. And he turns around and looks at Albacore.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
That bell! Let me see it. Oh, they're watching us now, aren't they? That's a good sign. Or a really bad one.
Yeah.
What bell?
The one in your pocket, dumbass.
I have two.
You have two bells?
Sure.
You're tempting me.
Do you like bells?
Okay. I would like to cast Superlative Luck on myself.
Okay.
It is vulgar,
Oh,
which makes it my second.
this is your second vulgar spell. Let me do a quick paradox roll. 2 dice. Dot, dot, dot. Oh. I got 1 success, so that removes 1 die from your dice pool. What is it you're trying to do?
Well, so I'm casting Superlative Luck.
Okay.
So
Cast it
that-
and subtract 1 die.
So that would normally give me 8, but I'm gonna get 7. I just need 1 success. Got it.
So describe your intended outcome, and then we'll figure out what actually happens.
Oh, so my intended outcome is I get 8 again on a subsequent roll. I get lucky. I'm far luckier with my next roll.
All right. We'll say it works on the roll after your next roll.
God damn it. But do I know that?
You feel like something went wrong.
Okay. Shit. I feel like I should cast something else just for giggles to see how it works. I'm going to cast Winds of Chance on myself.
Okay. What's
Okay.
that one do? Is that vulgar?
It's evade or attract good or bad fortune. I'm going to attract good fortune.
Not vulgar?
Not vulgar. No mana,
Okay.
nothing.
Okay. You're going to evade or attract good fortune.
Yep.
I assume you want to attract good fortune.
Yeah, I would like to attract good fortune.
So the 9 again, or 8 again, clearly didn't happen.
But I am
but you got 3
feeling
successes.
extraordinarily lucky, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
you're feeling good. That roll
Okay.
took a really long time. Okay.
Yeah.
You feel like you're attracting good fortune right now.
Cool. That's awesome. I'm going to cast Destroy Bindings on Fluke.
Destroy bindings.
It is vulgar. It is contested.
Let's see.
It has no mana cost.
What page?
Destroy Bindings, 156.
Okay. Destroy bindings. No mana cost. It's vulgar, so that's your 3rd vulgar spell. So 1 second. The caster's successes must exceed the potency of the bond being severed. So which bond are you trying to sever?
The one holding Fluke.
The one holding
So-
Adustus's soul inside Fluke's body.
Correct.
Okay. All right, the potency's pretty high, but you've got yourself 8 again.
I've got 8 again. I've got 8 dice, and I'm using a willpower. So I'm using 11 dice 8 again.
Okay. Let me do
No
my
suc-
quick. Let me do my paradox check.
have a
0
feeling
successes. 0
Yay!
successes.
Nice.
Wow.
So give me a roll. Hit the 8 again button, and there we go.
did.
3 successes.
Oh,
All of that? I can't imagine that worked.
You wound up. You took your shot, and Augustus noticed.
I would imagine he did.
But I think we should probably stop there for tonight, unless you want to go for a little bit.
I would
longer.
like to take the orb out of my bag. I actually forgot. I was going to take the orb out of the bag before I did that, and then put it back in if it worked or
Well,
not.
now seems like a great time.
Yeah. Okay,
All right, are we quitting, or are we going on for a little bit, or
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
let's quit.
yeah, good job.
Okay. Oh, my wife just brought me more wine. Thanks,
Nice.
wife.
You're welcome, husband.
Aw.
See how much she likes me.
I like you so much.
Wow. All right. So you just flung an attack at Augustus, and then cowardly got out your orb of. You want to? Let me tell you what this orb does, before you rely on it too heavily. You've noticed that when you have it out, people around you seem to become confused. They don't. You're not invisible. They don't lose track of you. They can see you. They can react to things you do, but they seem to get sidetracked very easily and very quickly. And in mechanical terms, what this orb does is anyone who can see it or upon whom its light falls is unable to form short-term memories. They're living in the moment, like literally, like they can see and react instantaneously to something that they might see or want to react to, but they forget everything instantly. And as soon as the light goes away, they have this weird murky space in their timeline that they can't quite account for because they don't have any memories of it. Okay, so you're not invisible.
So I know I wasn't invisible, but I still I should have pulled that out, pointed it at him, and then cast the spell. I
Yeah,
meant to do that.
it would have been
I
a better
forgot.
time to do that before the spell, but
Yeah.
but if he's made up his mind to obliterate you, he's going to have a hard time following up on that if you've got the orb out. He's going to forget why he was doing it in the first place.
Yep. So there's that.
Yep.
We'll find out next week.
So at this point, you've got your orb out. You've just angered Augustus. Augustus was trying to show you his nifty cavern, and you attacked him. The Merovingian is apparently destined to slay him, and he may notice at some point. Ender has got his spiders at the ready, but only 1.5 shirts. Yoder's crossbow has been begging to be used for several sessions now.
Oh, I'm ready to use it.
Okay.
I'll just wait. for
Anything
the good
else?
time.
Anything else we should note here as the status quo before we quit for God knows how long?
Don't think so.
I've got a shiny new gun and a knife.
You got a shiny new gun and a Spyderco Delica that is apparently dedicated as a magical tool, and a bell that Augustus wants to take a look at.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's where we'll leave it. Good night, YouTube.
Good night.